Hey yo, what's up everybody, it's JJ. Today we're coming back a video basically talking about Ethereum 2.0, and of course in this video itself I'm going to do a slight introduction on how to stake your Ethereum 2.0 easily, and of course what is the pros, what is the cons, and of course should you use your own PC to stake or you should use a service provider out there that is providing all of this. And of course, disclaimer itself, I'm affiliated with some of the products that I'm going to mention, and of course it is not forcing you to buy it or whatsoever. It's up to you, it's your own choice. And of course I would say if let's say you buy the product itself, you get a free discount code, and of course I will get some affiliate commissions which will not add up to your fees. And of course don't worry about that, this is a win-win situation that the company is providing. This is called advertising. And of course I would say without further ado, if you're not subscribed to the channel, kindly hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and turn on post notification. And of course right now we're going to jump into the topic itself. What is Ethereum 2.0, and of course am I staking for this Ethereum 2.0 thing? So if you have been following my content itself, I've been like talking about nodes and of course staking stuff, and of course from there how do I stake my crypto, and of course how do I like run my nodes. Do I do a self-custodian one or I choose a service provider? So if you want to learn more, watch the playlist that is going to appear, click on it. And of course on this video itself we are going to basically right now talk about what's Ethereum 2.0. So for those who are new itself, if let's say you want to know more about this promotion that is ongoing, basically DAppNode itself is providing a free 4G Gnosis validator which is worth up to almost $600 as of today's value. And of course you can look at the all-time high. Basically the all-time high itself is $500. If you get these free 4 validators itself, basically your DAppNode itself is gonna be as low as like $200 or even $300. So it's up to you if you want to get it. Go on, use the link down below, and of course use the promo code SCCrypto for a 35 euro off if I'm not wrong, or 25 is either that amount. And of course right now for those who are new itself, we know that the merge is coming, and of course from there this is Ethereum 2.0 that is going to be implemented. And of course you might be thinking like, okay, so for this Ethereum 2.0 there's a lot of questions people are asking. We are going to get there in a moment itself on the channel. We are going to talk about like, does it like provide a faster transaction, reduce cost of your transaction for ETH itself. Basically the Ethereum 2.0 itself is just a consensus update. So for those who are new, do not know what's a consensus itself, it is basically the algorithm, or you want to call it algorithm or something. I will say it's a consensus. Basically in the blockchain itself we will need to basically have consensus to basically validate blocks, and after that from there move on the whole blockchain itself to basically talk about the scalability, the security, and after that many more issues that is in. So with here on Ethereum 2.0 itself is just basically changing the consensus from proof of work, basically GPU miners / ASIC miner, basically all transiting into proof of stake. And after that from there for proof of stake, why I mean the pros and cons is there. Basically for proof of work itself, the pros itself, it is basically people can earn more money through this proof of work by buying a machine to mine. And after that I would say the barrier of entry itself is slightly lower because GPU itself you can mine from home. And after that from there proof of stake itself, for this merge itself that is ongoing, I would say for people to get in and after that generate like new Ethereum itself, it will be slightly harder because you will need to have like 32 Ethereum to become a validator, and after that from there validate blocks, and of course you will get rewarded on top of that. And of course this proof of stake itself is a pro thing. Basically you do not need to like compare with the network like holding how many hash power or something like that. And of course if let's say you own one validator itself, you might be able to produce like a block or something, and after that from there get a split share of rewards. Compared to proof of work, basically the more hash power you have, the more you earn. I mean the concept is the same. The more proof of stake validator you have, the more you earn. So I would say roughly is about the same. And after that from there the keynote itself over here is basically the energy consumption. So for Ethereum itself, GPU has been using like tons of energy, and after people are calling crypto a waste of energy. And of course if let's say they compare with the big banks or whoever, Visa or whatsoever, running their servers, basically crypto itself is a tiny portion that is wasting the electricity to basically do security and validating on the blockchain itself. I mean like they just want to attack crypto, just saying that it's a waste of energy. And of course trust me, a lot of cryptocurrency big companies out there specialize in mining, they are moving on to the green and renewable energy. And of course from there I would say for this Ethereum 2.0 itself is basically the update of this consensus from proof of work towards proof of stake. And of course lastly the question, am I gonna stake on it? Yes, definitely. I'm still waiting for some of my funds being locked up on some investment platform like Haru Invest, basically waiting for it to expire / mature so I can withdraw the funds out to basically make up a 32 Ethereum, and of course send it over to to the beacon chain or something like that towards the Ethereum 2.0 network to basically start my validator running and everything. So over here we're going to talk about some questions, the burning questions right now. Is this Ethereum 2.0 itself is going to speed up transaction, and of course the transaction fee, is it going to be lower? Alright, so previously the deadline itself for this Ethereum 2.0 merge itself is on the 15th to 16th of September, but of course there's a soft deadline. So for a soft deadline itself, it's not something hard that I mean, you know what's a soft deadline, basically something that they are expecting, and after that from there it will be implemented on the 19th of September, hopefully without any delays or whatsoever. But this is a soft deadline, so it's not really confident, and after that assuring that 19th of September is going to merge. And of course from there, I mean, like, there's a lot of tests going on the yearly testnet itself, and after that from there it has been testing since the mid-August, and after that from there, I mean, like, their final testnet merge has completed, and after that it looks fine. And of course from there they are basically working on the mainnet to basically do a merge itself. So mark your calendars, 15, 16 or 19 September is going to happen, unless there's a delay going. And after that, if let's say there's a delay, and those who are already staking into this 2.0 itself, your withdrawal itself is going to be later on, we're going to talk about it. So the misconception itself for this validator, and for this itself, the misconception, basically the merge will reduce the gas fee. So as already said, it is only a change of this consensus network. Basically it's a consensus mechanism, proof of work towards proof of stake, so everything else is the same. And of course for this thing to move itself, proof of work to proof of stake, I believe it will make it more scalable in the future, hopefully. And after that from there, they already mentioned on their official article. I'm going to post this down below for those who have lots of burning questions. I'm just going to cover some of it but not all. So we have first, the merge itself is going to be a change of proof of work towards proof of staking mechanism. It's not expansion of the network capacity and everything. It will not reduce the gas fee. And after that from there, there's more stuff onto it, more technical terms. And after that from there, transaction will be notably faster. Basically the same thing, gas reduced, faster transaction, making it like Visa. And after that from there, false, there's gonna be slight changes exist, and after that from there, transaction speed will mostly be the same as layer 1. So for the proof of work itself is called the layer 1, and after that from there it is going to be something and somewhat similar. Nothing gonna change, it's just the earning money mechanism, some of you guys might want to call it, because previously proof of work, you mine, you earn, and after that right now is you're staking. And of course people are arguing that the whales will become more richer, the rich get richer, because they hold a bag of like Ethereum, and after that from there they can just throw it towards this 2.0 and from there make more money itself. So the next thing itself, the burning question, when can you withdraw your stake? And after that, once the merge happens, basically if let's say I start staking today, I am going to basically get my funds back on the 19th or even 15, 16 September. So over here, false, this is not going to happen, because there's some more developing, whoever wants Ethereum to basically have the security there, they are going to say the withdrawal itself is not enabled until the following Shanghai update. Basically it is expected after the merge itself, 6 to 12 months following the merge. Basically we do not know when's the merge. If let's say it's on September 19, basically 6 to 12 months later when the Shanghai update is basically implemented, yes, withdrawal can happen. And of course from there the question is, if let's say withdrawal start happening, and after that from there validator will basically the next thing itself is basically, let's say everybody exit at once, so what's going to happen with the Ethereum network? And of course over here, after the update itself, enable withdrawals, and after that from there many people will want to basically take out their money. And of course from there, trust me, not everybody is going to sell, because there's supporter for Ethereum itself. And of course, yeah, basically there's more proof of stake, more validators equals more security, definitely. And of course from there, when the withdrawals are enabled, stakers will exit all at once. Not really true, because people are loyal towards Ethereum. And of course from there you can see that they have a model to basically counter this type of issue. So if let's say people want to exit every time itself, so there's a rate/limit for exits to happen. It's basically over here. So every epoch itself is going to be 6.4 minutes, and after that also basically there's gonna be a 1,350 per day, or only 43,200, basically 135 validators is able to exit per day. And after that from there, out of the 10 million stakes, so this rate limit adjusted depending on the total stake, and after that prevent mass exodus, basically mass withdrawals, and after that from there prevents the potential attacker to basically use the stake commit to slashable. Basically over here for the proof of work itself, you will need to have 51% of the hash rate to attack the network. But on proof of stake itself, if let's say you have a lot of money, you have 51% of the funds that is being staked on the network itself, you can control the network, you can manipulate the network, and after that from there you might be thinking, okay, shit, if let's say a billionaire like, I don't know, Elon Musk tried to attack Ethereum itself, first of all, it's not gonna happen, because if let's say they're gonna attack the network itself, number one, they're gonna have at least 51% of the funds. It is gonna cost them financially, and of course they need some skills to do it, and of course for Elon Musk, definitely he can do it, and of course from there you can see that for this to happen itself, once the network is being attacked, people will start selling, and after that from there the whole network itself will become trash, and after that it's unlikely to happen. I mean, like, it can happen but unlikely, because first of all you need to have the financial capability, and of course the skills to do it, and of course once you do it itself, the price will go crashing. So your 51% of this worth value itself for staking to attack itself might not even recover if let's say you manage to manipulate the blocks or something. And of course, yeah, be assured about that. And of course from there we're going to talk about the next stuff. What's the difference between this node and validator? And after that, some of you guys might be thinking, okay, everybody can run an Ethereum 2.0 node, and of course right now what is the difference for validator and nodes? So for nodes itself, definitely you have heard of like, oh, I'm going to run a Bitcoin node, and after that from there I'm going to run an Ethereum node, I'm going to run an Avalanche node, and something like that. You might be thinking, okay, so everybody can run a node without a cost or something. You just need to have a computer 24/7 to run this type of nodes. And after that from there, there's two type of nodes that can happen. Basically, one itself is the full node. Basically a full node itself is just running a copy of the blockchain, and after that from there it is for your own use. If let's say you want to have this privacy and security, definitely you can run a full node, and after that from there do whatever transaction you want to do, because you are using your own node. And after that from there, whatever things that you send through the network itself, it is recorded on your node, not by anyone else. So there's a lot of security and privacy over there for the node, for you to run a node. And after that from there, for those who believe in a lot of conspiracy theories, definitely the privacy, the big brother is watching and everything, definitely running a node itself is totally free. You just need a computer, and after that the hardware requirements to do it, to basically run the node. And of course the next thing is validator. So for validator itself, we already mentioned you need to have 32 Ethereum to basically do one validator, and from there the validator will start to basically propose block, and after that from that a test, aggression or something like that, basically to do some consensus coding that is back end on this Ethereum 2.0 validator consensus stuff. And after that from there, it is basically being a miner with your proof of stake validator. You are generating some financial value, and of course you are adding security to the blockchain. So this is the difference itself. For the nodes itself, you are just running itself a copy, and of course not really doing much. You can't have the saying power on, okay, this block is correct, this block is wrong. You do not have the ability to do it, because you need to have some money in the game, some skin in the game, which is 32 Ethereum for the Ethereum 2.0 validator itself. So these are the difference. And right now the requirements for ETH validator staking. So I've already mentioned a lot of time, you will need this 32 Ethereum, and right now you'll be thinking, okay, so what is the next stuff that you need? Basically, first of all, 32.01 Ethereum for you to start staking, and after that from there you will need to basically have a hard drive. You need to run like the you need to run the execution layer. Basically you are running a full node, and after that from there you are running a full node, and after that you are running a validator application to basically interact with the full nodes. And after that from there, using the full node as your own basically as your own blockchain database for you to verify from your own validator and from your nodes itself, and from there your validator will take data from it. So this is the most secure way to do it. And after that from there, as of May itself, you need to take note your hard drive has to be freaking big, and after that from there, it is not a HDD, you will need to use an SSD, because basically you can see you will need at least 1 terabyte for the mainnet execution chain data alone, and after that it is growing almost 1 gigabyte per day. So over here you might be thinking, okay, so how much gigabyte do you need? So over here on DAppNode itself, they have this with a 4 terabyte NVMe. Basically it's a SSD, powerful than SSD. So over here, this over here is gonna be a big space for you, and after that from there, definitely this is enough to run the Ethereum 2.0 for maybe 2 years or 3 years down the road. And of course, eventually when the blockchain itself get bigger and bigger, developers definitely will step in to basically try to reduce the memory or maybe expand the block size, or I do not know what kind of technology they're going to use, and after that from there implement to basically have a smaller blockchain, so existing nodes runner or validator runner can still run the node itself to provide security and basically for the network itself. So over here you need some computers, and after that from there the computer itself will basically, you will need a good enough CPU and RAM itself with the SSD or NVMe to basically run the nodes itself. So over here check on the client, what kind of client you want to use. So there's a lot of client for you to use on the Ethereum 2.0, and after that from there you can buy a hardware to stake it yourself. I would say that's the most secure and privacy way you can do it. And of course the next step itself, you can basically find a provider. So right now we're going to jump into the topic. A self-stake, basically self-stake equals owning the hardware, or you're going to use a service provider like AllNodes. So for a self-stake itself, you're owning a potential device itself, which is a computer which has a resale value in the future. And after that from there, this, I would say, the depreciating asset itself is not really increasing in value, instead it's dropping in value because more and more newer technology is coming in, more chips, more powerful chips is coming in. And after that from there, you can basically see that right now it's cost this amount. If let's say you get the free Gnosis itself, the free Gno token, you are basically potentially looking at up to an all-time high of $500 or even $400. I don't know how much. Basically over here 580 times 4 itself, you're getting like almost 2k for free if let's say the price go back to all-time high and you still own the Gnosis token running a validator. You are still generating some passive income. So over here, if you want to get a full node itself, I would say definitely you can go over to DApp to buy their Intel, the NUC itself, and after that it is the i7-32, which has the Intel NUC i7, and after that 32 GB of RAM. I would say the RAM itself, you will definitely need quite a lot of RAM if let's say you want to run a few applications, and of course for the size itself, definitely get the highest one because you do not want shit to happen in the future. And after that from there, I would say for self-staking itself, you are basically buying and owning the device, and it has some sort of resale value if let's say you do not want to host a node anymore. And of course it is not only hosting for Ethereum 2.0, you can run other stuff like over here they have so many applications on top of that, and after that be running a Bitcoin node or whatsoever, up to you. And of course the next one itself for the provider, if let's say you're going to use the provider itself for AllNodes itself, I will recommend them because their hosting provider itself is slightly cheaper, and after that there's a lot of review, and I personally use them for some of the master node that I ran. And after that over here, I would say for the nodes itself, you can see that basically you're paying like I think $5. I'm just going to show it to you, hosting. And after that over here for Ethereum 2.0 itself, it's only going to cost you $5 per month to host. And after that from there, bear in mind they are going to handle everything for you, so you do not need to worry about the downtime. So this is the pros and cons we're going to talk about later on. So for a service provider itself, you have to take note, you are paying if let's say you're going to run a 2 years itself, it's going to cost you $102, which is very cheap for some of you guys. You might be thinking buying something like 2k worth, and of course from there there's some sort of resale value, but of course this 120 is throwing it into the sea, because when you do this itself, you are paying for a service that you can't have. You are just paying for a service, you're not paying for a hardware or an asset. And after that from there, the idea is you are going to trust them with everything, all of the technical difficulties that you might face when you're running a node or whatsoever. But of course I would say it is something for you to experience and learn if let's say you're going onto staking it yourself. And of course the pros and cons about it, I'm going to compare it right now. So we are already talking about this provider itself, so I'm going to start with the pros and cons about this provider itself. Pros itself, you do not need to handle anything, you just need to pay them and upload some of the keys, and of course from there you can run your nodes, and after that from there trust them that they do not have a downtime or something like that. So unlikely gonna happen, but of course you can expect a 95% or 90% uptime to be safe, because nothing is up forever. Definitely there might be some downtime. And after that from there over here you can see that they're really being super clear, $5 per month. And after that, if you're gonna stake for 2 years, it's gonna cost you $102, 120 I mean. And after that from here, we read more about how to set up Ethereum node itself. When generating a key, blah blah blah, if let's say you buy from DAppNode itself, you'll get this free Gnosis token. You can experience a staking on your own, learning how to stake and everything. And after that from there, for running a Gnosis node itself, it is similar to the Ethereum 2.0, and people might want to call the Gnosis node basically like a testnet for Ethereum. And after that over here, you need to basically know that you must know the basic stuff itself. Do not like hand over your withdrawal key in your Ethereum 1 address itself towards them or anybody else, because if let's say you hand over the key itself, basically the node itself, yes, you're running it, you're staking it, you see the value there, but when the withdrawal enable itself, some malicious people that have this key, they can withdraw your funds, and after that you do not want to have your 32 Ethereum disappearing out of thin air. So always keep your keys properly. So yeah, basically a ledger or something like that is always going to help you out a lot. So if you want to buy a ledger, use the link down below, and of course over here you can read more about it. And after that, the cons about this itself, you are paying 120 for 2 years itself, and after that from there not getting a resale value or something like that. Once paid, is all gone. But you might be thinking, okay, I can get a monthly passive income of like $106 for free, and after that I'm just gonna offset it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the math itself, this over here looks like a very good deal, but over here you are learning nothing. So why do I mean by that learning nothing? Because this over here, they're gonna set up everything for you, and after that from there you are not gonna have a basic fundamental or step to basically do it, the technical knowledge. I mean, like if let's say you don't have the technical knowledge, you can learn. Definitely there's a lot of guys out there. You might be thinking, okay, I don't have time for that and everything, but of course I would say in the crypto space, it's always good to learn some blockchain stuff, because it might be useful in the future, because blockchain itself is the future. And of course the next thing we're gonna talk about is basically DAppNode. So over here, first of all, the pros, yes, you own the device, and after that you have the resale value, you have your freedom to run whatever you want. And of course, compared to the service provider, once you pay this, you only can run this. And after that, what if let's say you're gonna talk about, hey, I saw some stuff like the store J, and after that I see something like maybe the Mysterium node basically potentially earning some crypto on while running your node itself. Definitely you can install this, and after that run whatever you want, and after that from there, whatever they are supporting, you also can generate some passive income through this type of node provider itself, like DAppNode or Avado, something like that. And after that over here, you can see that you have quite a lot of application that you can run, and of course have the freedom to choose by paying a one-time fee of like 2k, and of course on top of that getting free 4 Gnosis token. And of course, I would say that the cons over here itself, you will need to have some technical knowledge onto Linux server. Basically, you need to SSH into your own DAppNode or something like that to do some configuration. If let's say you ran into some error while like singing or whatsoever, I mean, to be honest, I ran into lots of error, but what do I do when I run into the error is simple. Switch around with the clients, and after that from there, see which one that works for you. And of course, eventually, if let's say you do not want to do that, you want to learn more itself, definitely you can go over to their Discord or their official wiki page itself to learn more, and after that from there, learn how to fix your stuff. And after that, basically I would say the cons itself, it is expensive to run. Definitely the price tag is there, and after compared to this $120 price tag, and of course over here for this 2k device, 2k in euro, and after that from there, I would say pros and cons. If let's say, I mean, for this computer, it is definitely going to degrade in value, and after that from there, you might not be able to sell it as high. But of course, they have already marked up something over here. We can see, if let's say you search for this i7, it is going to cost you around 1.8k in US or even 1.5k depending. And after that from there, depending on what kind of NVMe you buy, and after that what kind of RAM you buy, because if you buy this device itself, it is a bare bone, and after that from there, is roughly the bare bone itself is going to cost as low as like 1k or even $800 depending on where you find it. But of course, on top of that, they're giving you this free token, the free Gnosis token, which I find it very attractive to basically get from them. And after that from there, there's warranty, and after that support everything from them if let's say you're using this node itself. So if let's say you buy something else, I mean, like you can definitely run your own. If let's say you have your own PC itself, definitely you can install the software itself, and after that over here we can show you, you can basically buy one device, or you can basically run the program that is on the internet, and after that from there just install the DApp core, and after that from there your computer will slowly show this interface, and after that everything will work as same, comparing I mean, like depending on your hardware specification as well. So I would say basically over here you can choose either way you want to do it, buy your device or use an existing device, or you can use a service provider that is going to help you with everything. And of course from there I would say, yeah, basically it's up to you to choose and not forcing you to do anything. So basically we have come to the end of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it down on the comment section. If not, head over to my Discord or Telegram if let's say you really have some questions, and after that you tried commenting on YouTube, it is blocking or deleting your comment. It's not by me, it's from the YouTube what is that, their algorithm slash censor bot or censorship bot or something like that. If you want to, head over to my Telegram or Discord to basically ask me questions, and I'll do my best to reply you. So if let's say you have I've come to the end of the video and you have not liked the like button itself, smash it to help the YouTube algorithm. And of course, I'm gonna see you on the next one. Subscribe as well. See you on the next one. Bye bye. Peace.